لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك
في المدينة
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
The newly employed staff of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, have been urged to come up with ideas that will help in running the affairs of the commission. NAHCON chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar stated this at a 3-day orientation program in Abuja, organized by the commission for its new employees.
Come with the intention that you are going to leave a legacy behind, that the generation yet unborn who will join this organization or who are going to perform Hajj will be proud that you are once a part and parcel of the Hajj family. Don't come with the intention that you are going to just maintain the tradition of what you meet on ground. Come with the intention that you want to improve upon that tradition if it is good. Come with the intention that you want to uproot that bad tradition if we are doing it. Come with the intention that you want to see Hajj Commission among the best organization in this country.
Barrister Abdullah Mukhtar added that the new intakes will be exposed to more training in order to prepare them for the task ahead.
Another program will be organized to be handled by ICPC. Another one will be organized to be handled by EFCC. Another one will be organized by SSS. And another one will be handled to be organized by Institute of Transport Technology, Zaria, or College of Aviation, Zaria. Either of the two institutions, they are going to organize program for you. At least we'll engage you in the next 1 month. Forget about you want a table? No. Forget about you want to see files moving? No. The next 1 month, you will be undergoing series of programs, series of courses in various training centers across the country.
In his remarks at the occasion, NAHCON Commissioner for Policy, Personnel Management and Finance, ALHAJI YUSUF ADEBAYO, called on the new staff to imbibe the lessons of the training.
So don't come here to play. Don't think we have paid all our resource persons to come here and waste their time. With anything they say, put it down in your paper so that when you get home, you revise it. It's very important. Because since the inception of Hajj Commission, we've never, in fact, they started that commission with 68 senior staff. You in this hall are more than 68. So if you could pull these numbers to join the number we have, you know that definitely we want to move Hajj to the next level.
During the induction, experts presented papers in the following areas: background, structure and mandate of NAHCON, public service rules, financial regulations, administrative procedures and record management.
Anyone that is called a trainee is one that is appointed into pensionable post who will require additional professional training to perform his duties. It's called a trainee. For example, doctors, engineers, meteorologists. So you have the engineers, the doctors, pharmacists, meteorologists, agri-scientists. All these are called trainee. And why do we call them trainee? Because they need to acquire professional experience before they can be able to do the work assigned to them.
To carry out this, we need to liaise.
Meanwhile, key NAHCON officials were on hand during the training session to educate participants on the functions of the various units of the Commission in Hajj administration.
Planning, research, information, and library services. Statistics and library services. Our job, as the name implies, is to do with planning all the activities of the Hajj, starting with the calendar of events. Planning also subsumes monitoring and evaluation activities.
There are two aspects of Hajj as far as I am concerned. That is the performance of the Hajj rite itself, whether Tamattu, Ifrad, or Qiran. The next aspect of Hajj is the services that is being rendered to this pilgrim to perform these three Hajj I have mentioned successfully. So it is the duty of the Inspectorate and Compliance Unit to ensure all these people rendering the services have done it in accordance to the agreement they have signed.
Those of you who are coming to account, please and please work very hard. Be ready to put in extra hours, because here we work as if we are not going to see the next minute. My chairman, my commissioner, two of them are, I'm sorry to use the word, they will put you on your toes all the time. Not because we are not organized, but because of the nature of the work we do here.
The media unit is the tool for the commission to reach to its target audience. And because of this strategic relevance, the unit is situated in the CEO's office. So let me briefly just run down on the roles or responsibilities of the commission. Apart from the fact that we project the image of the commission, of course, we launder it, we protect it.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has commended the air carriers that participated in the airlift of the Nigerian pilgrims during the 2017 Hajj operations. NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar stated this at a meeting with officials of the airliners in Abuja. The NAHCON boss urged the carriers to be conscious of basic aviation rules and regulations, particularly the provision of first aid for pilgrims while on board. He then called on Hajj officials from the states to educate their pilgrims on the need to comply with luggage rules. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is planning to introduce local dishes in its feeding arrangement for 2018 Hajj. NAHCON Commissioner for Policy, Personnel Management and Finance, ALHAJI YUSUF ADEBAYO, disclosed this while answering questions from journalists.
But what we intend to do this year was to, we mentioned it in Saudi Arabia, I want to introduce local content into our menu, because most of them complains of the same monopoly of menu. But this year, this 2018, we intend to introduce a local content, whereby we will export local food that we eat in various areas to our caterers by introducing local menu into our menu. And at the same time, the state will also monitor quality of services the caterer are intending to serve.
The decision is sequel to calls by Nigerian pilgrims for NAHCON to introduce local dishes in its menu.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is introducing various reforms as part of the efforts to improve the management of Hajj in Nigeria. The Commission is doing this to ensure that all its operations conform with the change philosophy of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. In embarking on these reforms, NAHCON identified key areas of focus, one of which is the accommodation of pilgrims in Mecca and Medina during the Hajj. First, in Medina, where NAHCON is fully responsible for the stay of pilgrims. For this purpose, the Commission chose the Markaziyya area where Nigerian pilgrims will be lodged. This began in 2017. Markaziyya is a location that surrounds the Grand Mosque of the Prophet ﷺ. The best hotels are situated here.
And some of these hotels were 5-star, some were 3-star, and some were even 4-star hotels. Some of them had extra services like provision of towel, liquid soap, Wi-Fi for pilgrims to communicate with their loved ones at home. And some of them even provided tea, dates, gratis as part of their own contribution to earn reward for them, for the guests of Allah.
While negotiating to secure the hotels, NAHCON dealt directly with the property owners and ensured that middlemen were eliminated. Doing this has helped in bringing down the cost and saved the government huge amounts of money as well.
This year, due to the intervention or the reforms of the National Hajj Commission, we were able to save over $17 million for accommodation both in Mecca and Medina.
On the Medina accommodation alone, which is handled by the Commission solely, a saving of about $187 is made per pilgrim. This is done through hiring the accommodation directly from the landlords, not going through accommodation agents, where in some cases you could have up to 7 layers of agents, one taking the house and then another taking it from him, then like that until NAHCON takes it from the last one. All these middlemen are cut off this year, so we're able to achieve these savings.
In Mecca, where the provision of accommodation is in the hands of the states, NAHCON provided adequate supervision and set benchmark to guide the states in securing houses for their pilgrims. The benchmark include the availability of facilities in the hotels, distance to the Kaaba, and the number of bed space in a room. The reform in Mecca led to the reduction in the cost of accommodation, eliminated the need for augmentation by state governments, and uncovered fraud perpetrated by dubious individuals.
Our officers went to Saudi Arabia with a template, improved template. We look at the distance, we look at the facilities, we look at the distance, we look at the quality of the house and so on and so forth. How much? You, the state representative, is there. The agent or the owner of the accommodation is there. And the NAHCON rep are also there. You'll be surprised in some cases from the 4,000 that was paid uniformly to all last year, in some who got as much as 900 riyals, 500 riyals, and so on and so forth. By that token, apart from I think one state, no state government is going to add a penny, supplement the accommodation for the pilgrims.
With this transformation in place, Nigerian pilgrims enjoyed better accommodation services in Mecca and Medina.
I'm coming, 1 minute, wait for me.
As Nigerian pilgrims arrived Medina, which is the first point of stay in Saudi Arabia, they were received by NAHCON officials who then led them to their hotels and allocated them rooms. The pilgrims were guided by NAHCON officials on how to use hotel facilities. Pilgrims expressed satisfaction with the quality of the accommodation, appreciating NAHCON for a job well done.
Very, very conducive for somebody to come and just relax, to perform 1 or 2 things. So, and I think those who prepared this hotel to us, they have done their possible best to see that they have accommodated us as the way we like it.
They've done good too when it comes to accommodation too. That is for NAHCON, because by my understanding is that the NAHCON takes care of the feeding and accommodation here in Medina. And so far, they've really done good with the arrangements.
I would like to compare with my last visit, which was about, that was 2005. It's better, much better. It's different. The level of accommodation is better.
Others appreciated the closeness of the hotels to the Grand Mosque, saying they went to the mosque without difficulty.
I'm very, very surprised what I'm seeing here, because I didn't know that it will be okay like this. Our accommodation is very good, very okay, even is very near to Haram. I made the masjid of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In fact, we are thank God for that.
Inda mutum zai tsakaninsa da Allah an kama waje dabda ko a anguwarka ne iyakacin da zaka ce ka samu masallaci kusa da wajenka. Dan daga inda zaka ta ku zuwa masallaci a takaice in kai minti biyu ka je masallaci insha Allah.
The type of accommodation given to us by the federal government over the National Hajj Commission in Medina is very, very okay and very, very convenient to the pilgrims, because none of the accommodation is far to the Haram. It's just close to the Haram.
Hajj officials attested to the fact that movement of Nigerian pilgrims to Markazia area has eased up the challenges faced in the past.
But with this Markazia accommodation, so many coordination. The coordination is very easy. You coordinate your pilgrims within a period of time. Just if you are in the olden days, you spend 24 hours before you finish your services. But today, if you want to organize and coordinate your pilgrims and do your job, within 30 minutes you finish the job.
In this kind of situation, before we find ourselves, the accommodation will be very far to the Haram, and then the accommodation will not be like this. So it can be just an house without a full incentive and the necessity requirement. But now, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, so any one of our pilgrims now are commending what the National Commission is doing as an arrangement. Alhamdulillah.
Just as in Medina, NAHCON is also planning to ensure that Nigerian pilgrims stay in hotels closer to the Haram in Mecca. ALHAJI ABUBAKAR DAMBO is the chairman Forum for State Pilgrims Welfare Boards. He explains more while answering questions from journalists.
It's the responsibility of NAHCON for the good of the states, because you see the quality of accommodation provided in Medina. So he wants to extend that gesture to Mecca. That is why he said he's not taking over the provision of the accommodation in Mecca, but rather to ensure that quality and good accommodation are provided for all the states. That's what the national chairman said.
In order to consolidate on its 2017 gains in the area of accommodation, NAHCON has commenced preparations to secure hotels for the 2018 Hajj. Immediately after the 2017 Hajj, the Commission constituted a high-level committee led by the Nigerian Consulate General in Jeddah, Ambassador Mohammed Sani, to work out modalities. The committee, comprising of NAHCON board members, representatives of State Pilgrims Board, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as other stakeholders, negotiated directly with property owners to ensure befitting accommodation for Nigerian pilgrims against 2018 Hajj. In the process, the committee members met with the landlords and discussed several options towards getting the accommodation.
We have identified very good accommodation. Though the rate we had wanted to bring it down, unfortunately we couldn't bring it down, but we sustained what was paid in 2017 against 2018. So, for example, if the Naira, the exchange rate, Naira dollar comes down, that means the Hajj fare will inshallah fall, because there was no increase in the rent in Medina. And we intend to do the same thing inshallah for accommodation in Makkah 2018.
These negotiations were not without competition from other countries.
For example, Al-Andalus and Al-Elias were almost now like a family. So, and they are good gentlemen to the core. For example, last year, after we negotiated with them, some countries went to entice them with higher offers. But they said, no, we have already committed our hotels to Nigeria. So you can keep your increase. We'll go by what we have negotiated with Nigeria.
Landlords on their part confirmed that during the 2017 Hajj, NAHCON was able to secure accommodation at lower cost because of early preparations.
Between providers, house providers, that is agents, and the National Hajj Commission. This is the first time within 17 years nobody has ever asked us to negotiate in the prices. This is the first year that we are setting a committee in NAHCON, and we have seated together and negotiate on the price of pilgrims accommodation. This is really one of the improvements that we have seen clearly, which make us appreciate that there is changes. In the years back, we used to put our price, and nobody will tackle about it, or nobody will negotiate or ask to make some, discount about the money or the prices.
With the 2018 Hajj preparations underway, NAHCON is leaving no stone unturned to ensure the implementation of its accommodation reforms and other policies aimed at improving Hajj management.
Today, our pilgrims can be compared with pilgrims from any part of the world in terms of public transportation. Today, our pilgrims have the best of medical services. Today, the officials at the state level, the private tour operators, are more committed in serving their pilgrims than ever before. I believe we have many more things to do, and we should collectively pursue and ensure the success of the exercise.
We started early last year by sourcing for accommodations in Medina. It will be interesting to note that out of all nations that perform Hajj this year, it's only Nigeria that stay in Markazia 100%. Other countries share their accommodation. Some are 70 outside, while 30 inside Markazia. For us to maintain this, we have to sustain the achievement we have recorded for 2017 Hajj.
إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك